are the predictions for this weekend. Two games we're going to quickly analyze, and then we'll do our predictions. With the guys, we're going to be talking about Chelsea versus Manchester United. That's the first game we're going to be talking about this weekend. And Chelsea, yes, under the new manager, they've not lost. But at the same time, have they really, really, you know, hit the third gear? We know they've gone to second gear, but I can't see them hitting the third gear. I was disappointed at the result against Brentford in midweek. But everybody looks like Graham Potter is still trying to instill his ideas in the team. How long is it going to take him to do that? Let's look at this game, Chelsea versus Manchester United. On the flip side, let's also remember, if United mistakenly loses this game, the Ronaldo conversation is going to come up again. Let's talk about Manchester United at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea.
So, I mean, these are two teams that right now I consider very on par with each other. If you look at their records, very similar. Played 5, drawn 1, won 4. Same thing with Chelsea, same with United. You just need to reorder, some of the results, and you have an identical, stats for them. I think that this game, would end up more likely a draw for me. I think that Chelsea have made some huge strides, since they had Graham Potter. They haven't lost. I don't think they've lost a game,
They've not lost since Graham Potter took over.
Since he took over. So that tells you something, and it also tells you that they are not conceding a lot of goals, as they were before. So I think that his influence is beginning to shine in Chelsea, and Chelsea are a team that worry me. They scare me because they are quietly going about their business, picking up results without any kind of media attention, and that in itself is not is not very healthy for anybody else, because that with the quality of players that they have, if they get it together, they can also go on a run, as well. So I think people might say that this is their first big test, like everybody else. Chelsea have not really played anybody in the top, part of the league. Okay, you could argue that they played with Spurs, but you saw the way that game went. That game was frenetic, ended up 2-2. They should have won that game, by all intents and purposes. So I look at this game with Manchester United, and I will probably say I'll go for a 2-2 draw. And if I would not be shocked if Chelsea should pull out a 2-1 victory in this game.
Festus.
I totally agree with Eddie in this case. Chelsea, I think Graham Potter has done very well. He has been able to steady that team. He has put them in the right direction, and he has corrected most of the lapses and the self-doubt they were having as a team. He has put those things in. He has actually corrected those things, and they are on the upward trajectory at this point in time. And you could see the structure is sound now, very solid. And they are beginning to play like a team. You could see the love he's trying to create among them also, which is, like Eddie said, is dangerous at this point in time. I see them clearly competing in the first top 3, because they are not like flash in the pan. You could see steady progression, and they are playing well. The Aubameyang introduction and a whole lot of their guys, they self-believe that they could score, and everybody can score in that team. The Kai Havertz and everybody is already rallying around that the manager. So I see them making a stand for top 3, not even top 4. I think the likes of Man U, Tottenham will struggle for the top 4, and Chelsea is going to be in that conversation as things progresses. Because clearly I am impressed with what the manager has done. I didn't expect him to kick off this way, really. I seriously didn't know it's going to be this fast. I thought it would take time for him to, put the team in order, but it was so fast, and they've been really, really playing well. I'm impressed with him. So for this match, I will give it to Chelsea. I think Chelsea will take this match. I see a 2-1 victory for Chelsea.
Yeah, so one of the things that's interesting about the game for me is it's a big game, and you expect I've seen one mentality from United and Ten Hag. The big games, they've gone all guns blazing, and that mobility that Sancho, Anthony, and Rashford bring up front, they've deployed the long balls very well. They've done that very, very well. Now, what Casemiro brought into the Tottenham Hotspur game was being able to steady the midfield. It was breaking plays for fun. At the same time, it was finding those passes that the likes of McTominay and Fred don't know how to do. Fred, when you watch him in the national team, he likes to be as close as possible to the guys up front, right? And so he can do the short passes. But Casemiro can do the short passes, and he can also throw very long passes. He can pass down the channels and rest of them. And for players like Sancho and Anthony, they need space to run. They need space to do their thing. So when they play on the flanks and you're able to put the ball in a good position in front of them, they can chase the flight of the ball and continue that they are at whatever pace without breaking speed at all. And that's one of the beautiful things that Casemiro has brought into the side for Manchester United. And I think they're going to enjoy that. And one thing we've not talked about a lot, the two centre backs for Manchester United now. Harry Maguire is never coming back into that side. You look at Lisandro Martinez, you look at Martinez, and you look at what's his name now, the guy from Real Madrid. Two of them have formed Varane. Two of them have formed a solid unit at that back, in the middle of that back, that they complement each other so well.
Now, they really been tested, Kali. Man City was the first rate test, and they
so you can't. No. I don't think it's fair to compare Man City.
Man City can do that to anybody.
They would do that to anybody. Forget the fact that Man City could not, recently struggled. Man City will do that to anybody every day. And you said have they been tested? Lisandro Martinez was almost the man of the match in the game against Spurs. Go and watch the game again. Martinez was brilliant in the way he kept an eye on Harry Kane. Like today, you are not. And when you limit your opponents to shooting from outside the box, you have done a good job. Your DMs and your centre backs have done a fantastic job. And then the fullbacks, what has happened to Luke Shaw? Is beginning to look exciting again. He's running forward. So because of the way they play now, throwing the long balls, he now has a lot of space to run, to cover, and he enjoys himself. Dalot as well, they are doing well. So the entire United side, there's a new level of confidence that has come into the side, and it's working for them. I wouldn't be shocked for to say United victory. I'm predicting a draw, but I will not be surprised if United wins the game.
Okay, but Kali, you know that most of what we've been seeing is most of these wins against the big teams are in Old Trafford. They've really not been tested outside Old Trafford.
Yeah,
in terms of
tested outside Old Trafford.
This is the first way test we're seeing, and they are meeting also an informed Chelsea that is well structured at this point. Just like what you've analyzed in Man U, Chelsea also is really getting to that point where we've seen serious organization in terms of almost all the players that were not informed. Everybody's back playing well. So this is really the big test for them outside Old Trafford. We need to see what happens.
And look at now. I wanted to look at all the tests Chelsea have faced in recent times. How many fast wingers or fast forwards have they played? They played against Aston Villa, they won. They played against Brentford, it ended in a goalless draw. They played against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Nobody should mention Adama Traore, not in this life. No, nobody should mention that guy. And then the only quick guy they've played against has to be Zaha and Eze, right? But Eze does not really utilize his pace. Eze likes to create the chances for other people to play. But Zaha is a drama queen. I feel like he's got the talent that if he faces his football, he can deliver, on the big stage. He faltered against Chelsea because they had the chance for them to beat Chelsea in that game. But Chelsea just took it easy and picked, when it was time, they just picked them apart and did the job. Sterling is going to have a huge say in what happens in this game. You know, Aubameyang, he loves to play in the big games. Hopefully, he comes to the fore, and that's why I'm predicting a draw. Because, like you pointed out, Festus, Chelsea are very well organized now. That's one of the first things Graham Potter has brought to the team:
Yeah.
organization. So they are well organized, but at the same time, we're seeing a United side that as well. They are well organized, but United have those three guys up front that can run, and they've now brought a very very experienced player in Casemiro who can play to the strength of these players up front, and that's why I'm thinking they probably will struggle a bit. But at the end of the day, both sides are right now. They look like, apart from Arsenal, the informed teams in the Premier League. So let's move away from them. I'm predicting a draw. I hope you got that, Eddie. For
Yeah.
our prediction, we need to
Eddie,
look
when
at
are
this
you going to show who is leading?
exactly, because I know I'm
Because
way
I
up
know I'm
there.
the one leading. I
Nah,
know
nah,
I'm
lie. I beg. But you for where?
I know I'm the only
You
one
for
that got yes
nah
last
lie,
position.
nah lie,
Sorry.
nah lie. You have not gotten it. You are
Don't
not
don't
there.
don't worry. You're gonna see the
I
unveiling.
know I'm
We'll
sure he's
keep
leading.
everybody in suspense
Because
for a few more.
it's the first quarter of the season. Let's see who is leading.
Yes. Yeah.
This one, Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle United. Tottenham Hotspur, for all they do, we've said it here, and good enough. It looks like we know football small. We've said it here that at some point you can't keep riding your luck. You
Mhm.
know, you don't play well, you get results. At some point, good teams will start picking you apart, and that is what has started happening to Tottenham Hotspur. But Newcastle United, they are building something very exciting upon time, and I love what Eddie Howe is doing. And guys, let's just talk about it before I tell you what I think about that. Okay, you know what? I'm predicting a Newcastle victory for this one.
Really?
I like it. I like it. You say it with his chest.
I,
You say it. Yeah. See, do you know what? I'm not gonna. I don't want to disagree with you too much, right? Because I see a lot of good things with Newcastle. And I don't think they get enough credit right now. Callum Wilson is back, and Callum Wilson really, epitomizes, the sort of work ethic that Eddie Howe is putting into this team. These guys work very hard for themselves. And they're a team that right now, are a very dangerous team. I think you take Newcastle, likely at your own peril. They have Trippier, who's very, very good right now. Trippier is on form, creating assists, creating a lot of, telling balls and creating chances in that team. You could almost be confused that, he's kind of doing an impression of Trent Alexander-Arnold, right now in that Newcastle bench, in that Newcastle team. So I look at this game and I say to myself, well, if Tottenham, who are the home team, they don't come out to play, this game will end in a draw. If Tottenham comes out to play and Newcastle, go at it the way that they have gone in other away games, I can see them potentially sneaking a victory. But the only reason why I'm going to predict a Spurs victory is because they are playing at home. And, this season, they've always found a way somehow to score that odd goal that actually gives them their victory. So I'm actually predicting a 1-0 victory to Spurs, in this game. But I would not be shocked if Newcastle does the upset here.
Okay, to Spurs. Okay, for me, I see a very keenly contested match between two guys. I think Spurs will want to bounce back from the defeat of last match, and Newcastle will continue to be consistent with the marvelous form they are currently riding on. I see Spurs having a whole lot of hard time cracking that defense of
Newcastle.
yeah, the Trippier, Scar, Bond, and even Batman. Those guys have been phenomenal in that defense. Even Target coming in also to deputize for one of them once in a while. They've really been doing well. They've considered very few goals, and they've really been tight in the defense. So, and with the coming back of Callum Wilson, and Amiron is playing fantastic football. I think the best football of his life in the middle. So you see a whole lot of them, Newcastle, and with the confidence Eddie Howe, with the way he has structured them, giving them, allowing them play their football. So there is so much self-belief in them. Like you pointed out, if Spurs decides not to play, if they feel they can ride their luck as usual and nick it, maybe the number one goal, opportunities and defend too deep, they may have a problem on their hands, because Newcastle clearly, the self-belief, self-confidence at this point in time, they believe they can beat any team. They are not scared of any team at this point in time.
Yeah.
So
doing well away from home as well.
Yeah, doing well away from home, which gives you that's the self-belief, because they believe they can beat you. They are not scared, and they play their football. That's one thing I've noticed about their game also. They don't start changing their game because of you. They go to you, they play their football. You know, for me, I'm seeing a draw in this match. I'm seeing, if possible, a goalless draw, because I see Tottenham will want to play the normal defensive football, counter-attack, and I see Newcastle defense being that, very fortified defense, not allowing them go through that route. So I think this match is going to end in a draw.
In a draw. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're going for a 1-1 draw or 2-2?
I'm going for a 0-0. Yeah. They're not going to. I don't see them scoring this game.
0-0.
Last game, guys. It has to be Southampton at home to Arsenal. Arsenal in good form. Southampton finally won a game against the guys who, for a long time, people were talking about not losing games. That's Bournemouth. But when they met Southampton, they met their Waterloo. But now Southampton are hosting the number one team in the league. That's Arsenal. How is that going to play out, Eddie? Let me start with you on that one.
So Southampton is a team that, Arsenal doesn't always do very well when they travel to Southampton. For some reason, when we go to Southampton, we always seem to lose to that odd goal. Last season we went to Southampton and lost, at a critical, point in the season. So, but I think this is a different Arsenal. I think you have to acknowledge that Arsenal right now are made of some different minerals. And so, I look at this game and I think that Arsenal is just going to, continue. I think it will be a difficult game, because I'm sure Southampton are going to rise up, to want to play Arsenal in this game. But I want to predict a 2-0 victory to Arsenal in this game.
Interesting. 2-0 victory to Arsenal. Festus.
When Eddie was saying how we go to Southampton and we always struggle, I just wanted to point to him that remember the likes of Crystal Palace last season and Brentford last season. It was similar, and this season we've corrected all those runs. So I think we'll also correct this. All those guys that cost us the top 4 last season, they are going to be
going to chop it.
Yeah, they will chop breakfast, serious breakfast. This season. We're on a revenge mission to all those guys. So I don't see Southampton escaping that punishment also. In fact, we are not just going to play them, we're going to punish them in their home. With this Arsenal, I say. So I'm predicting also a 3-0 victory for Arsenal.
A 3-0 victory. Well, I think Arsenal will. Southampton shouldn't be one of those teams that will beat Arsenal. And Eddie, I'll just point out that the last 3 times that Arsenal have played Southampton in the league away from home, they've only lost once, and that's the last time. The one before that in the Premier League, Arsenal won 3-1, and the one just before that one, Arsenal won 2-0. So Arsenal love playing Southampton.
Well, maybe I'm colored by it was a cup game that we lost to them.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Maybe that's yeah.
That's why I said in the Premier League, we lost a cup game to them last year as well, 1-0. Last season. So it was just the cup game and that one league game. But beyond that, we've beaten them 3-1, 2-0. So we score at least 2 goals every time. Well, not every time, most times when we've gone to them. Even before that one, the games before that one, the 2 games before that time, in an FA Cup, we beat them 5-0. Before that one in 2017, we beat them 2-0. So Southampton shouldn't be a problem for Arsenal. I like, and you pointed something out. This is a new Arsenal. It's a different team. It's a team that I've seen the possibility, the opportunities of possibilities to write their names in glory, in greatness, and I think they want to take it. And you look at the way they play, even when they are playing badly, they are all defending as a unit. I love the. Now there's a story coming out of the Arsenal dressing room that Partey doesn't want to be treated like an egg. He wants to play every game. You know, the PSV game, they said he was asking to play. It was when it was getting tough and Arsenal couldn't get a result, it was asking to get on the field. And you know what Partey does to the team? He starts from back, but we know that we have to manage. the man can be saying whatever he likes.
He's a guinea fowl egg. You have to
He can
manage
say
it.
whatever he likes.
Whatever he likes, let him say. We will manage it. But I like the feel good factor. And this is one thing that happens to teams when you go on a run and you keep winning. The confidence level go sky high and you feel you can beat anybody. And I think that's the attitude Arsenal has taken into most games. Against Liverpool, against Leeds, that's the kind of game that last season, 2 seasons ago, would have lost. That last 25 minutes would have lost the game. But you know what? They just have this mindset that no matter what is coming, no matter the pressure, we can handle it. Liverpool equalized, but these guys kept going. I know some people that were watching with me that were saying, okay, it's time for Arsenal to just keep the shape and defend. No, they kept going until they got that penalty that led to the winning goal. So I like the mentality in the Arsenal side. And then the boys can play football when they're well rested. I think playing three times a week is beginning to take its toll on the side. But I'm not going to surprise to say 3-1 Arsenal victory this weekend. So I'm predicting 3-1 to the Arsenal.
Okay. Okay.
I
like it.
And that will take us to like 7 straight win, which is, I think we're likely, if we win
things we love to hear.
Sure, because that means Kali, Arteta may be on something, because if he wins this, I think that will be our best start ever.
No, but it was already our best start ever in the Premier League era.
Yeah.
We already have the best, so it's going to be breaking. It's going to be breaking his own record.
I think we've paired one other long one.
Not wins. It's draws in between. This one is like wins on a roll.
Just one loss, yeah.
So this Arsenal's best start in the Premier League era is Arsenal. So yes, Arsenal have had periods where they've gone unbeaten for about I think 13 or 17 games, but there were draws in there.
Okay.
So we're saying the best starters in points tally, at the start of the season. It's amazing. And that's why I want people like Eddie to just say thank you, Arteta. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about him. I'm sorry.
I'm not like Eddie. Arteta, I'm sorry.
Eddie, 12 games, 5 games, you can see the change in the team.
Yeah,
and this is what we have lacked for a long time. Clearly. Players who are passionate about the club.
One diehard Chelsea fan called me after what was the match, and he said, "Wow, Arteta has done something remarkable." He said the belief, the mentality is what at this point he gave it to Arteta. The mentality he has built in those boys. We have so many matches. We know when he gets this stuff, we concede. We get the red cards, the Zakas, and one stupid mistake. It happens, and at that point, everything collapses, and we lose. Burnley, a whole lot of these guys, they beat us in stuff like this. When he gets this stuff, you see they equalize, they win. But this is it. You could see that mental.
Even when we make mistakes, you can see them covering for themselves. Everybody sings Saliba's praise. Do you know Saliba makes mistakes in games, but you don't know because they are not fatal, and Gabriel is quickly covering up, or Ben White. And Ben White is another player that we need to give a lot of props. He's been immense.
He's doing his work in a very quiet manner.
He's not talking. He's not doing anything. He's just getting the job done. And kudos to Arteta. Kudos to the way he set up this team. Kudos to people like Eddie that won't accept. But
Kali, I like the way the likes of Tomiyasu and what's his name?
Tenny.
No, Tomiyasu. How he comes in plays any wing you give him, and he's still executing
And he's
very
still
well.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still happy. He does the job.
That
You know,
that alone tells you we can't have the Ronaldo behavior in our team.
no, we're bigger. We're bigger than all that. And on that
I
bombshell,
wanted to
and
find
on
it.
that, and on that bombshell, it's a wrap on the show today.